Good morning, folks. This is Mr. Moore from St. Emily's School here once again. And with it being Friday, we are looking at tech tools. And the tech tool that I wanted to focus on for today is 3D printing. As some of you may have heard, the Ottawa Catholic School Board recently made CTV news because we gathered up all of the 3D printers out of our schools and gathered them at our board. And we're currently creating equipment for our frontline workers, whether it's the infrastructure for a face shield mask, whether it's some other functions in terms of hair ties, and those types of things. That's what we're doing. And as you can see the article down below, it from Tyler Fleming, it goes into a lot of detail as to what it is that we're currently doing. However, you may be asking, how did we accomplish this? And really, there's three main parts to it. The first part that we would look at is if we were in a position where we were actually creating these designs, we have within both our staff and our student portal a program called Tinkercad. And when we click on Tinkercad, Tinkercad is one of those programs that allows us to be able to create and design any mechanical device. And so when we enter into Tinkercad, the first thing that I want to point out here is if this is new to you, I would strongly encourage to go to the Learn tab. And when we go to the Learn tab, we got three sections here: starters, lessons, and projects. And these are really the tutorials that you can go through. Within the starters, these are very short mini lessons that show you how to do one specific task. If you go to lessons, that's kind of a mid-range area where you're going to do 6 or 7 tasks and do a simple design. And then projects is where it's going to really walk you through it completely. This is one that I really recommend. If you go and do Let's Learn Tinkercad, it will really walk you through all the general basic concepts that you need to know and learn how to get started within this program. Once you go through that, then you are basically ready to start. Within Tinkercad, however, you'll notice that they have a gallery. And in that gallery, there are lots of different things that you can do. There's lots of other designs. You'll also notice the really cool thing about Tinkercad is it's not just that mechanical design. You can actually do electrical circuitry through it and create those transistors, those resistors, those types of things off of circuits. Code blocks is very similar to that as well. It's kind of those medium areas where, for example, an LED socket can be made through Tinkercad, and that's really what those are about. So once you get through your tutorials in Tinkercad, you're going to click on Create a New Design. And it gives you that black platform. And so you've got all these different functions. I don't want to go through all of them right now because that's really what those lessons about. What I want to do at this point, though, is jump you over to where the largest gallery of 3D printing devices are. And that would be known as Thingiverse.com. And Thingiverse.com is where all the people really around the world who are currently doing this is kind of the general forum where most people will load their designs. And those designs that folks are making in terms of helping our frontline workers, this is really where it's coming from. And one of the neat things that Thingiverse has done is it's actually created these groups and these challenges specifically for COVID-19. And if you look at some of the challenges they've laid up, number one, they're networking and connecting people together. So right now, the partnership, if you saw from the CTV article, it's between OCSB and the University of Ottawa, where they're making the shields and doing the assembly. And Thingiverse is connecting people from around the world to do the same type of thing. They've also got a challenge in terms of a mask adapters, so more about the straps and the associated hardware that would go with the mask. They've got a challenge in terms of that actual shield itself. Can you make something through plastic and 3D printing that would do that? Some really experimental face shields. There's a couple designs in here that I'm looking at going, you know what? I think there's a couple things in there we could even make at home. This is kind of neat one that I hadn't thought about, but there's designs now for what we call no touch challenge. And you can see there's a design for a handle or a tool that enables you to open doors without actually touching the knobs. And so you have your own personal device that you would hang on to help you with that. And then they have general. And this is where if you wanted to do some modeling to show exactly what the coronavirus looks like, they've even got that, and you can actually print that out. So that's really what Thingiverse does. And if I'm correct, I believe that's even where they got the design that OCSB is printing from right now is from this forum right here. So what happens then is you go in, you grab the file link from whatever device it is that you want, and you then jump over to a third software, which is known as, for us, we use Cubic Creator number 3. And Cubicon or Cubic Creator number 3 basically converts that file. And again, there's lots of things that go along with this. I won't take the time to show all the different steps, but essentially what happens is if we can think of it as converting a doc file into a PDF, because a 3D printer cannot read a file that's designed out of Thingiverse or out of Tinkercad. You have to convert it from a Thingiverse file over to a 3D printer file. And the two main files that you see there are known as OBJ file or STL file. And that's what Cubic Creator 3 does, is it will convert whatever that file is that comes out of Thingiverse or Tinkercad and converts it into that STL or OBJ file. And once you do that, you then save it into a USB stick, you put it into the 3D printer, and you basically you push start. And that's what we are currently doing at OCSB, is we're taking those files primarily out of Thingiverse, we're putting it through this program here, Cubic Creator number 3, converting it into that 3D file, and then putting it into the 3D printers. Obviously, we only had to do that once. Once it's saved into that USB, we just keep reprinting and reprinting and reprinting into the 13 different 3D printers we're using right now, and going in that method, and essentially just checking to make sure that everything is being printed properly. So that gives you an idea of the kind of process and what OCSB has done as to how we're creating that. All of this there's a whole bunch of different steps. Obviously, what can you do at home right now? You can definitely design. You can definitely go into Tinkercad. You can definitely look at some of the designs that Thingiverse has. See if you can do one of the challenges. Use Tinkercad to meet that challenge and share it in there and participate in that fashion. Wonderful skills, primarily around math and science. Again, we're talking about STEM all the way through. Knowing your audience, knowing your subject matter, and then being able to express it in a visual way is always a wonderful method. So I hope that helps, folks. And that concludes our lesson on Tinkercad, Thingiverse, and 3D printing through Cubic Creator number 3. Thank you very much, folks.